I just want to kind of express an observation in the discussion and the testimony regarding not just this bill, but a lot of the proposals that we've taken up in this committee and others, frankly. And that is, we commonly hear or see presented the everyday, very relatable experience of having to make tough decisions in order to manage your family and conduct your daily affairs. Something we can all relate to every single day. We choose to do this instead of that because of the economic reality that we find ourselves in. And I understand and appreciate the desire, as I think we all do, to make life easier on ourselves and on others. It's a noble impulse. What concerns me is that we might overlook the fact that the same economic stresses that put the screws on individuals and families at the macro level also can put the screws on the state as a whole. And we love to talk about the surplus around here. Surplus gets brought up all the time to make this point or that point. But we should look at where that surplus came from and where it's going and what it portends for the future, because at least half, or around about half by my understanding, is one-time money. It's not money that we're going to have coming year over year over year. On top of that, if you look at the economic forecast for the state, our state's income is going to be relatively flat. I mean, that's the nonpartisan estimate going forward. So, when we think about like the concept of a family shouldn't have to spend more than 7% of its income on childcare, I think we hear that, and our general sentimental impulse is, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds good. The point's been made that it's 0% for K through 12, right? Mm-hmm. That's a compelling argument. But again, when you broaden that out to the macro level, the money's coming from somewhere. And we have to take into consideration where that somewhere is. And ultimately, it is the personal income of the state of Minnesota, the corporate income of the state of Minnesota, the sales tax of the state of Minnesota. And those are actual numbers and will continue to be actual numbers going forward. And so regardless of the merits of this particular, the particulars of this proposal, which I'm not going to take the time to go through and pick apart, or the merits of any given proposal that's coming through this committee or on the House floor, I would just caution us to think about the future. And we're thinking about the future of our children and our state on a social level. But there are economic realities and trajectories that need to be taken into consideration. It's not uncommon at all to hear stories of people winning the lottery and then ending up back to being check to check within a couple of years. And it's because they didn't change the way that they approached their handling of money. It would be a shame if we ended up doing something similar as a state.